Good morning, everyone. In educational psychology, Unit 2, attention, perception, and memory. First, let us see about the meaning of the word attention. Modern psychologists who believe in the integrated functioning of the mind do not consider attention as an independent faculty or unique power of mind. As it is a process or an activity of the mind, it is better to speak of attending rather than attention. Whenever we are awake or conscious, we seem to be attending to something or other, as the mind of when active has to attend on some stimulus. As William James pointed out, field of attention and consciousness are not identical. Only a few contents in the field of our consciousness are selected and attended to. Next, let us see about definition of attention. Attending can be as a mental activity of focusing on certain aspects of one's current experiences and ignoring others. Attending may be considered as a kind of mental state which predisposes the individual to concentrate upon one and screen out others. Such attentive states involve not only mental selectivity but receptor adjustment, that is, focusing our eyes and turning our head. General posture adjustment, muscle tensions, etc. As such, there appears to be affective and cognitive aspects to the cognitive activity attending. McDougall defines attending as striving to cognize, that is, attention increase one's efficiency and is vital for acquisition of skills. It is also as a aid to remember or recall. Then next let us pass on to the types of attention. Attention are of two types. One is voluntary and another one is involuntary. Involuntary attention is spontaneous, free, natural, and passive. Not much effort is needed for this type of attention. Attention of young children is of this nature. This type of attention involves some effort or will. Sometimes we have to force ourselves to attend to objects in which we lack interest. In such cases, we take efforts to set our attention on the stimulus in question. Thus, we can say voluntary attention is intentional. Then, sometimes effort is required to initiate to start attending, which once it has got a start through effort then goes on effortlessly. For example, it may require effort on our part to start reading a new book. Once started reading, we may be observed in reading if a book is well written. This type of attention triggered by effort is known as implicit volitional attention. In another type of voluntary attention, effort may be required continuously to start as well as sustain attention throughout the activity. Such type of attention is called explicit volitional attention. Most of the activities carried out without much interest belong to this category. What is sometimes referred to as habitual attention is the kin to involuntary attention. Is habitually attending to something may make it automatic after some time. Even in voluntary attention, interest is present, as without some interest we will not attend. In such cases, interest is of an indirect nature rather than direct and immediate. Then next let us see about nature and characteristics of attention. Attention is a selective process. Attention is a selective selection among items not yet entered in the field of consciousness, a selection of some items to enter consciousness while others remain excluded. Attending is the first step in the mental process of knowing called cognition. Perception is the function of attention. Attention is three-dimensional, that is, attention is not only a mental activity, but it also involves affective and cognitive aspects in the cognitive activity attending. McDougall defines attending is a striving to cognize a stimulus clearly. Attention needs motor adjustment like turning our head focusing our eyes, leaning forward, etc. Attention is not divisible. That is, we cannot attentively do two things at the same time. If we try to attentively do two things at a time, both activities will suffer. Attention is fluctuating in nature. We cannot attending continuously on any object for more than 10 seconds because attention shifts from one object to another and one aspect of the object to another object. Then span of attention is limited. Span of attention refers to the number of independent, distinct or separate stimuli that can be attended to by an individual at a glance. Experiments reveal that the adult span of attention is between 6 to 8 for ungrouped dots. Internal factors like one's mental state, need, interest, mood, physiological condition of an individual, and external factors like size, intensity, contrast, change, novelty, movement, repetition, etc. are the determinants of attention. Interest and efforts play significant role in attending to an object. The reason behind our attention to an object is that it appears attractive to us and we are also interested in them. Next let us pass on to what are the determinants and factors of attention. Already there are two factors that affects our attention. One is objective factor and another one is subjective factors. And next, first let us see about the external factors or objective factors of attention. Even if a person is not interested in any event or object, certain characteristics of an object or event may compel him to attend to it. Such object related factors or external factors of attention. There are, first one is size. Objects of big size arrest our attention immediately. Full page advertisement in newspapers capture our attention more easily than quarter page advertisements. For the same reason, people compete in putting up large cutouts of political leaders, advertisement, hoarding, etc. along the roadside. Then, intensity. As size to figure, so is the intensity to the quality of the stimulus. Stimulus with high intensity like loud sound, deep striking colors are highly successful in affecting our attention. While taking a class, if the teacher raises his tone, he can overcome the disturbing noises coming from outside and retain the attention of his pupils on the ongoing lesson in the class. Next, change. Whenever there occurs sudden change in a stimulus, it immediately attracts our attention. For example, when the fan suddenly stops, everyone in the class looks up and sees the fan. Similarly, a student sleeping in the class wakes up immediately when silence suddenly descends on the class. On entering into the house, we quickly notice the changed positions of tables and chairs in the hall. This implies that if the teacher talks with the proper modulation in his voice, he can easily capture the attention of the students. Then contrast. When a stimulus presents itself as a contrast in the midst of the other stimuli, it turns out to be an attention winner. That is, a black dot in a white shirt looks predominant. The reason for drawing the median line on the Thor road is yellow in color. Man wearing deep colored trouser and light colored shirt, writing on the blackboard with the white chalk, etc. is to capture the attention of students in the class. The teacher should use contrasting activities like lecturing, questioning, using charts and writing on the blackboard while teaching. Then, novelty. When a stimulus is presented in a novel or unusual way, it attracts the attention of everyone. For example, we used to see usually the notice no admission in offices. But in office, when we see in the same notice in a different manner like admission with permission only, it immediately strikes our attention and retains the memory for long. Then, movement. The moving stimulus catches our attention more quickly than a stimulus that does not move. We are more sensitive to objects that move in our field of vision. That is, advertisers make use of this fact and try to catch the attention of people through moving the electric lights. Then repetition. A stimulus, even of low intensity, it appears repeatedly, it succeeds in winning our attention. The same business advertisement is repeated many times in mass media like TV, radio, newspapers, only to attract the attention of the consumers. Then systematic form. Objects with a systematic form are easily attended to retained long in our memory as compared to objects which are incomplete or irregular in the form. For example, we listen to a faint tune even in the noisy surroundings. To enlist the attention of the students, the teacher before starting the lesson should give an overview of the entire lesson so that the students get proper and complete idea about the lesson. Next, let us pass on to internal or subject factors. These factors predispose the individual to respond to objective factors, to attend to those activities that fulfill his desires and motives and suit his interest and attitude. It is the mental state of the perceiver. First one is interest. Interest is said to be mother of attention. We attend to object in which we have interest. We would like to watch a movie or a serial in a TV because we are interested in the subject around which the movie or serial revolves. In any get together, if the subject of our interest is discussed that attracts our attention easily and makes us to participate in the discussion. In our day-to-day life, we pay attention to the stimulus we are interested in. Next one is need. Need or value. Another important subjective factor determining attention is need. For example, the attention of a person waiting for a bus of a particular route will always be restricted to buses of that route only. A hungry person easily spots the name board of the restaurant. Though it is the small in size, appears dull, but the name board of a nearby bookshop, which is big in size, may not catch his attention. Hence, if the teacher, before starting the lesson in the class, points out the utility of the concepts to be taught, then the students will follow the class with much attention. Then, mindset. Person's readiness to respond determines his attention. If we are expecting a stimulus, occurrence of the stimulus along with many other stimuli may not come in the way of attending to that particular stimulus. At a time when students are expecting the examination timetable by the end of the semester, the timetable put out on the notice board along with the other notices would attract their attention easily. Then physiological condition. The physiological condition of one's body also determine the level of attention. Students suffering from headache, stomach ache, fever, etc. will be unable to attend the lesson taught in the class. It is always better to provide rest to those students who do not feel well instead of compelling them to attend the class. Thank you. Have a nice day.